All right, so we are live now. All right, good evening, and thank you for joining the show tonight on People's Parliament. We are looking at quite handful number of national as well as international issues regarding the Nigerian people and the international community. I'm your host, Mr. Christian Oche, otherwise known as Due Process. Thank you for joining tonight, Mr. Joseph Onyeso, as well as Dr. Roberts, and other guests that are joining us via Zoom, as well as those who are watching us live all the way from different parts of the world. It's a pleasure to have you join People's Parliament, where we have discussion daily on national as well as international issues, offering our solutions as well as the challenges that are confronting the Nigerian people on a daily basis. Thank you for joining, and we encourage that you please subscribe in case you haven't done so. Subscribe to COPDEM Media TV, such that you'll be able to get daily prompts on our events as we make progress as a nation towards 2027 and beyond. So tonight we are taking a look at 8 items, starting with number 1, the ADC National Directorate of Mobilisation, Civil Societies and Progressive Engagements. Of course, I understand there will be a Zoom meeting tonight, virtual meeting, where well-meaning Nigerians are encouraged to be part of the meeting. Then there's, of course, a Zoom link to that effect, where members of the public are encouraged to be part of the meeting. So those who are willing to join their respective state directorate of mobilization of the ADC, civil societies and progressive engagements can as well do so by joining the meeting and gaining the right direction on the way forward as we advance the course of the new Nigerian project. Number 2 is a funny one. The former presidential, co-presidential aspirants who deputized His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, in person of Dr. Deti Ahmed Yusuf, has made a very loud statements against the person of His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, where he comments and he noted that he remains in the Abure faction of the Labour Party. As a matter of fact, he acknowledged Abure as the chairman of the Labour Party, and he described His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi as a political traveler. Well, that is the best of his comments that I could give, and he is entitled to his opinion. We understand he has, of course, read the political climates, the gladiators that are coming, and you understand probably he felt he may not be chosen as vice presidential candidate, and that may have fueled the jealousy leading to the unguarded statements. As to whether it's a game plan or otherwise, it remains to be seen. However, that is the comment that is credited to him in a viral video that he has made, where he attended the Abure-led Labour Party meeting in Abuja. Then number 3, we are looking at Obi Kwankwaso tickets that is making the rounds across Nigeria, particularly members of the obedient movement, as well as the Kwankwasia movement, who are happy to see the news that their leader, the person of Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, is beginning to have alignment talk with associates of His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi in a prospective alliance that failed to work out in 2023. And having that conversation coming up now, given the aftermath of the 2023 as well as what transpired in the 2023 elections, it was glaring to him that if he had accepted the vice presidential ticket in 2023, the results wouldn't have been the same. So I believe he has learned his lesson and he felt he should put the country first by showing his willingness to accept the vice presidential ticket. His Excellency Governor Kwankwaso, the former governor of Kano State, was reportedly seen in a viral video where he was addressing the Kwankwasia movement in Hausa language, particularly, where he noted that he's in talk with certain persons of the opposition people, and that he's willing to accept number there, number view. A number there, number view means number one or number two, referring to presidential aspirant or vice presidential aspirant. Is willing to accept any of them, which is a welcome development. And we also going to look at Mike Arnold. Mike Arnold, you understand, have made a lot of attracted a lot of attention globally, particularly in Nigeria, given his stand against the Christian genocide, and is seen as somebody who is advocating for the free Nigerian states, and he has so far gained a lot of followers. He made a very taunting statement against the president of Nigeria, the president of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who criticized Tinubu particularly for flaunting his $400 million wristwatch, highlighting the children and women in the IDPs, even in Abuja IDPs, that have been abandoned. He went ahead to state that he has particularly visited these IDPs, that is not working based on theory, is working, is making his statement based on practical experiences of his interaction with these IDPs, and you understand that in this IDP, there are no provision of water, no shelter, no food provision for these members of the IDP. Yet, the president is not ashamed and is flaunting a wristwatch that is valued to be over 400 million naira. So this is a national embarrassment again. You understand, Tinubu keep making the headline for the wrong reasons. As of yesterday, Tinubu made the headline again for forging the purported meeting he had with the Rwandan president in person of Paul Kagame. And Paul Kagame has come out to denounce it, that he never had any meeting with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Rather, he has been nursing an ailment that have kept him away from public function. So this is a national embarrassment that keeps coming our way through our number one sitting president. Of course, in terms of the marketing of the Nigerian image, who is not the marketing Nigerian image? Is it the opposition figure that is stating the reality of the country, the reality of the Nigerian people, or the president that kept on making the headlines for the wrong reasons, both local and international headlines? It remains the same, and the judgment is best for the Nigerian people to make. We're looking at the Iranian Islamic regime, where authorities, particularly the security authorities, were seen releasing live firearms against civil protesters, innocent protesters. They've been fired straight with a live bullet for demanding a change of regime. The people of Iranian, for the past 2 weeks, they have taken over the streets demanding an end to Islamic regime. And that has not sat well with the authorities. And they've chosen the way of authoritarianism by releasing live firearms against civilians. I think at this juncture, it should not be surprising to see the President of the United States stepping in to bring about law and order. And of course, that will bring to an end the regime of the Islamic regime in that country, Iran. So if the people are demanding that enough is enough, I think the will of the people supersedes whatever it is that has been written as a constitution of the country. If the generality of the people of Iran are taking over the street demanding an end to an Islamic regime, demanding for democracy to come to their country, I believe that the will of the people has to be respected in that regard. Then we advance to number 6, which is over 80 deaths reported at Borgu local government area of Niger State. You understand? A few days back, there was a report that terrorists who left the Kainji Dam National Park in Borgu, they were found, they had a camp strategically located in the national park. And they came all the way from that park to attack a local market where over 80 persons have been, so far been reported that have been killed in that attack. And over 15 children that were reported to be children of St. Mary's school in Papiri have been re-adopted. This is a national tragedy that children below the ages of 12, below the ages of 15 are experiencing double jeopardy by having to be re-abducted by the same terrorists that came for them much earlier. The Nigerian government have not been sincere to the Nigerian people, and this cannot be allowed to continue. It is on this note that we are calling on all well-meaning Nigerians to ensure that we get our PVC. Sitting on the fence and expecting change to come will not come that easy. Rather, we will continue to watch the cycle of repeated government failure. It is only when the Nigerian people understand the need to get involved, get their PVC, and of course, register with a political party they feel will be able to advance their will for the Nigerian state. It is only at that point to be able to make a meaningful progress as a country. Essentially, the bottom line is simple: get involved, get your PVC, register with any political party of your choice that projects the progress of the Nigerian people. I will not be responsible to tell you which particular political party. It is at your discretion to decide which political party will actually bring about the new Nigeria of our dream. And number 7, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has been reported to have made a viral statement about the United Nations, where he said, "I don't care about the UN." And he went further to say that the UN has not been seen to make any drastic move against authoritarian leaders. They've not been able to put their foot on the ground. Rather, when the US acts, they come in condemnation of US actions, of ordinary things that they should have been seen, standing against acts of terrorism and drug trafficking, global drug cartels. But they are not seen to doing that. Rather, when the United States make any advance action, they will come out to condemn the United States. And there is an ongoing threat of shutting down the headquarters, the international headquarters of the United Nations in the United States. So these are some of the issues that have been going on in the international scene. Of course, they went further to accuse the UN as a corrupt disaster that puts the third world dictators on human rights councils and promotes them to replace the white people. This is coming from Secretary of State to the United States, Secretary Marco Rubio. On this note, I have with me in the studio, I have a number of guests who have joined the conversation via Zoom. And it's my pleasure to have you join Mr. Joseph Oniso, as well as Dr. Robert. Do we have more? If there are more, please feel free to unmute and be part of the conversation. Welcome to People's Parliament. Mr. Joseph, you need to unmute. You are unmuting and muting. Click it once. All right, you can speak. It's unfortunate. He seems to be having issue with his device. Do we have other contributors? Other contributors on the subject matter? You want to talk about the Obi-Wan Paso tickets? Or you want to make comments regarding to Deti's inflammatory statements? Mr. Joseph, you don't need to click it twice. You click it just once and wait. All right, you can speak.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Sorry,
Yes, good evening, you're welcome. You are muted again. You don't need to click it again.
I am having serious network issue here. Network is here.
Sorry, Mr. Joseph, we cannot have you on the program because your network is very unfriendly and it's not giving you the spotlight to be able to participate. You have to have a stable and reliable network coverage to be part of the conversation. Otherwise, we cannot hear you, and of course, the viewers out there can also hear you. So this is just a reminder that tonight there will be a meeting of the ADC National Directorate of Mobilisation, Civil Societies, and Progressive Engagements. You are listening to me out there and you want to be part of the program, feel free to request for the Zoom link via comment section. Of course, I'll find a way to put it across to you because it's very important that all hands must come on deck at this point to be part of the engagements, because the ADC is the lifeline as it is currently towards the Rescue Nigeria mantra. And we look forward to the leadership of the ADC to continue to consider the pulse of the nation and listen to the masses in whatever step or decisions they are going to take in respect to the future of this country. They have it very clear, and we look forward to them making a decision that would excite the generality of the Nigerian people. That is all I will have to say. Mala Sadiq Umar Abubakar, you are welcome to People's Parliament. It's a pleasure to have you. Are you in a position to speak to us? I believe you've come by the subject matter of the day. Those items that have been itemized. Do you have any question or you have contribution to make on this matter? Mala Sadiq. You don't have a comment, or it's network have thrown my guest out. On this note, I want to thank you for staying through until I come your way tomorrow. So far, it's been a pleasurable day, and our job is simple. We are calling on the ADC Directorate to see to the need to put the Nigerian people first in whatever decisions they'll be making. They should consider the fact that they have the opportunity to rescue Nigeria as it is currently, because all the prospective presidential candidates of the opposition party are currently assembled in the ADC. And the ADC have no excuse than to bring joy to the faces of the Nigerian masses. Of course, we are all in the ADC, and we promise the Nigerian people that we will ensure that the voices of the Nigerian people are heard, and the leadership of the ADC will continue to do what is expected then. On this note, we'll be drawing close the meeting of the day on People's Parliament. First and foremost, we are calling on the Nigerian government to stop this dramatization of abductions. all terrorists do not deserve to see the next day. The Nigerian government to live up to our responsibility, our constitutional mandates to protect the Nigerian people, to provide security for lives and property of the Nigerian populace. We cannot continue to have abductions, mass abductions, without the government making any pragmatic attempts to eradicate all forms of genocide or terrorism. No terrorists deserve to see the next hour. We're calling on the Nigerian government to take drastic action towards ending all forms of terrorism or genocide in Nigeria. It is on this note I will say thank you and do have a pleasant evening. I remain your host, Mr. Arthur Christian on COPDEM Media TV. We encourage you to please subscribe to COPDEM Media and be part of the conversation as well as the journey towards the new Nigeria project. Thank you and do have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.